welcome everyone back to another episode of the Damaged Ones podcast. I'm your host, Mike Garcia, and joining me as always, my beautiful, lovely co-host, the one and the only awesome Sarah Altman, that is looking, I gotta say, spectacular by using a method that a lot of people may not agree with. Sarah, just off the air, off all of this stuff behind the scenes, you've been telling me that you've been losing a considerable amount of weight. What is the secret?
I know we're either going to have people that love or hate this answer, because like you said, this is very divided and controversial, but I am on GLP-1.
We might as well get into it. You are on GLP-1.
I am on a GLP-1 injection. I'm on Wegovy. There's different types. And I've been on it for 7 months, and I have officially lost 54 pounds. I'm about, I'd say, 14 pounds away from my goal weight of 150. So I've been losing a significant amount of weight. Yes, I know there's going to be the people coming on like, oh, it's dangerous. There has all those side effects. All I can say is any medication in this world you take is going to have risk and going to have side effects. That's just the nature of the beast. I have not had any side effects since I have been on it. I check in with a doctor once a month to make sure my labs and everything are looking okay to continue to use it. And I continue to walk and exercise throughout the week to keep up my muscle mass. So far, so good. Thumbs up for me.
Well, it's a very interesting thing because I've never really met anyone that has taken GLP-1 or Wegovy. I've been getting a lot as a voice actor that many of you know because we are on video and audio as well. As many people know, I'm a voice actor, and I have gotten a lot of auditions that deals with GLP-1 and Wegovy, you know, obviously for the commercials that airs. And I've never actually met anyone that has been on this drug, this medication. And whenever we see other people, like, let's say, celebrities, or there have been horror stories, as you just mentioned, where people have been taking it and not only do they lose weight, but they also lose muscle mass and their bone structure gets a little weaker. Are you concerned in any way that that is going to happen, or you're doing your due diligence on checking in with your doctor, making sure that you're good, and if you do feel differently in any way, you will stop?
Yes, I think, again, like with any medication, there's going to be risk of side effects. Everyone metabolizes medication differently. I think it's really just a matter of doing your due diligence and your research ahead of time. This is not a solution for everybody, of course.
Right, of course. We're not, and for the record, we're not promoting it. We're not sponsored by them. We are not, affiliated with them in any way. This is just talking to someone that is on it, and I just found out literally like 10 minutes ago. So
yeah, literally before we came on air today. But yes.
Yeah.
It's really doing your due diligence. I was told by my doctor when I started it, one of the side effects was loss of muscle mass. So one of the things my physician told me to do is like lifting like light weights and walking and just making sure you're getting in regular exercise to keep up your bone density and your muscle mass while you're on the medication.
Now, let me ask you this. What about the naysayers? And a part of me does agree with them. This is where you and I might be butting heads just a little bit for the next couple of minutes, just a little bit. What about the naysayers that thinks or is going to say, oh, you're taking the cheap way out. If you want to lose weight, you got to do it naturally. You gotta go to the gym, work hard, and take your protein shakes and all that other good stuff. What do you say to that?
I say I really don't care what you think about how I lose weight. Why does it bother me? If you don't like it or you don't want to use it, don't fucking take it. Simple as that.
Ooh, God. Oh, man, you're ruthless.
It's like, I hear this is the same debate with tattoos. People who use tattoo numbing cream are also shamed. They're like, oh, you're taking the easy way out using numbing cream. Who the fuck cares? You don't get a gold star or a medal if you don't use numbing cream for a tattoo. Just like because I use a weight loss drug doesn't mean someone who works out and is a gym rat 4 hours a day, 7 days a week gets a medal. I really
Mm.
don't care. Find what works for you. I think it's really about finding the balance. Like, I've been having the gym membership where I go and swim. I've
Yes.
been trying to implement taking morning walks in the morning. And that has been helping too. So I do try to put in my eating habits and changing those up to be healthier as well as exercising more. And that's really what it's about. I think what people get upset is thinking GLP-1, they can take it, continue to eat the same, continue to not exercise, and it's going to be like a miracle drug. Yes, it'll help you lose weight, but unless you change those habits, it's not going to keep it off. So it's meant to be a tool. And it's meant to be used as a resource as you're working on changing some of those habits. And you know me, I'm a pastaholic. I call myself a carbaholic per se because I love my pastas. That
You
will
love your
never
cheese and your
change.
pasta.
And I will always eat pasta. I will never cut that out, but I have been really decreasing my portion sizes and I'm making sure to include protein with every meal, whether it's like chicken Alfredo or, you want to incorporate just veggies and lean protein and just have that balance and you're pretty good.
So it can work, and it does work, as long as you take the proper steps.
Correct.
Okay. All right, well, people, there you go. If you feel like, consult with your doctor first. I cannot stress this enough.
And full transparency, unless you are a diabetic, most insurances will not pay for the medication. They only pay for it
Ooh.
if you are a diabetic. Otherwise, it is out of pocket, but there are different providers and options.
Mm-hmm. And as a treat for yourself, you're going to be ordering some Papa John's later on tonight.
I know we're talking about my weight loss medication. I'm like, I got a 50% off Papa John's coupon. But like for me, one of the two biggest ways this medication helps me lose weight is it decreases my portion size. I don't have as many cravings as I used to, especially for like junk foods and sweets. And I get full much faster. So I might get this pizza, but I'll have one slice of that pizza and I'll freeze the rest to eat throughout the month. Versus before, I could have eaten 3 or 4 slices of pizza in a night. After a slice, I'm full.
You freeze pizza and then
You
eat it throughout
absolutely
the
can.
month?
Yes, because I can't
What?
eat a whole
What?
pizza pie and it'll go bad after like a week. So I'll cut like half of it. I'll have a slice tonight. I'll have a few pieces in my fridge to eat this week, and the rest I will freeze. So if I want it as a treat later, I can pull it out. You just saran wrap it, put it in foil, freeze it. Listen, you can freeze bread, you can freeze cake. There's a lot of foods you can freeze so they stay fresh much longer. Don't you know this?
I do know, but it's pizza. You're supposed to eat it like right away in like quick portions, like throughout in that night. You're supposed to devour it whole.
I can't.
Unless
I can't on my Wegovy. I'm not hungry like that. I get full. I mean, that's how I used to eat pizza. I could sometimes on a night where I was really hungry eat like 5 slices of pizza, which is not advisable, obviously. But just like a little treat, just a slice, and I can. Pizza heats up well, especially if you put it in the oven. It's delicious.
okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, as your close friend, as long as you're safe, as long as you're good, and you're not ending yourself, like internally or whatever, because
No.
you know what I mean. You're not yourself in any way. As long as you don't get sick and you're good, and like you just said, you're doing your due diligence, you're doing your research, you consulted with your doctor, and you're doing the proper steps. You look fantastic, I will say that. And it's your body, your choice. You do whatever you want. And as long as you're healthy and you're good, you're Gucci, that's all I care about.
Yep.
Shit, maybe I might get on it. I got a dad bod and I got a, man boobs.
It's okay. I still
I'm
have
getting a
my
little better.
my little pouch at this belly. It's shrinking, but I still have a little bit of the
But
thickness,
us
as you
men,
would call
but
it.
but us men like that though. We do. We actually like it when a female has like a little pouchy pouch. I don't know what the fuck you would call it.
Isn't it called a fupa?
I think it is a faux
Yeah,
pas.
a little bit of the fupa. I have a little bit of that there. But you know what? I've lost 54 pounds. I'm feeling better. And I have really bad knees. I don't know if you ever knew that. I have arthritis in both my knees because I
I
have
do
a
know that.
patellofemoral instability. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
things my doctor told me to do was lose weight because every pound of weight, just fun fact for anyone from an orthopedic doctor, every pound of weight you gain is 25 extra pounds of pressure on your knees.
Mm. That actually makes sense, especially
Yeah,
since
because
a lot of overweight people can't walk very well, which makes sense.
correct. So he's like, even just losing 5 to 10 pounds is a significant load off your knees, which he highly recommended. So, anyway, yep, that's where I'm at.
You know, speaking of pizza, and this is a very interesting transition, people have been pissing me off lately when it comes to like fast food restaurants this week. It's fucking insane. I'm even
It's
hungry
been
thinking about it
nonstop
now.
for you. It has
It
been
really has.
nonstop.
Oh my god. For people that may or may not know, I love McDonald's. McDonald's is my shit. You know, is it poison? Yes, but I don't give a fuck. I love it so much. And we talked about this before in the earliest previous episodes of the podcast last year, where it bothers me whenever you order a simple food, a simple fucking food. Here's my order, whether I'm with you or anybody. I'm very picky when it comes to food, and I order the same thing every single time. And usually one of my biggest orders is 2 plain cheeseburgers, a small fries, and a Coke. That's it. That's
No
literally fucking
condiments. When he
it.
says
No
plain cheeseburger, he means no condiments at all.
plain cheeseburgers. I don't want the ketchup. I only use the ketchup for the fries. I don't want the ketchup. I don't want the mustard. I don't want the pickles. I've actually seen the movie The Founder, and it just boggles my mind that they just put that shit everywhere in their burger. But whatever. Different time, different era. You know, they're them, I'm me. And I order right before I head to work, and I'm craving these burgers. I only have them most of the time once a week. I've actually cut it down a lot. It used to be every few days. Now it's only once a week. So, yay me. And it was my treat. It was my day. I'm like, I'm about to devour these fucking burgers, okay? I'm about to make love to these fucking burgers,
Oh,
alright?
God.
I'm about to
It's way too much.
I'm about to
No!
fuck the shit. Okay, I'll stop.
Oh, wait,
Anyway,
yeah, stop there.
all right, okay, fine. I'll keep it PG-14. PG-14. There you go. Little thing. I go drive by, and as soon as I get the food and I'm on my way to work, instead of giving me the plain burgers, they give me the bread where the condiments was already on. They wiped it off instead of giving me new one. McDonald's in the back, that is known for their inventory behind the fucking scenes, have numerous access to clean bread, decided to give me wiped ketchup and mustard and put it on my fucking burger.
They were too lazy
How
to change it out.
lazy do you have to be to do that? And I don't want anyone to come out and say, well, what if it's a simple mistake? Really though? Is it though?
They knew they made a mistake because they wiped it off, but they were too lazy to get you fresh, which is what they should have done. That being said, it is a fast food joint. It is McDonald's, and I've never experienced stellar customer service at any McDonald's, so I can't say I'm 100% surprised, but that would low-key piss me off.
And here's the second thing that pissed me off. I order Chick-fil-A. You know me. I love me some Chick-fil-A. Any
And
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A
food
usually gets it right, because they have good customer service. Usually.
Oh my god. Chick-fil-A. My order. A little toxic cat right there. Little Archie. Aw, such a cute kitty. And he's here to bitch and to hear me bitch and complain about this as well. So, I order Chick-fil-A. My order is simple. A spicy chicken sandwich. Oh, look at that. I'm getting a What timing? And I'm getting an alert from my phone. Oh my goodness, another child abduction. It's always
Oh my
happening around.
gosh.
Yeah, child abduction. And maybe, if you guys don't know this, there you go. See? Amber Alert, child abduction from Houston, Texas. Missing child is Sebastian Jones, 11 months old, Native American male. Suspect is Alina Thornton, 25-year-old Native American female. Call Harris County Sheriff's Office with information. If you've seen, call 911. So, people listening, if you are in the Houston area and you know anything, there you go. There is the information. Kind of fucked up that I'm going to go back to food after that just happened. Anyway, moving on. Spicy chicken sandwich, no pickles. What do I get? Fucking pickles. Fucking pickles. And for the people to be like, well, Garcia, why don't you just pluck the pickles off? I did, and it's fucking tainted. It's still tainted. It's done. It's over. If you go to Hell's Kitchen restaurant, being one of the top restaurants in the world by Gordon Ramsay, okay? And he tells you that you should not mix certain ingredients because they're tainted, this is the reason why.
But it is a Chick-fil-A, not a Gordon Ramsay.
It doesn't matter! It doesn't fucking matter! They are there to serve us, the customer. They are doing... Why am I paying for their fuck-ups and their mistakes?
You do make a good point.
And this is the thing that really pisses me off whenever certain people are like, well, Garcia, it's McDonald's, it's Chick-fil-A, it's Wendy's, it's Burger King. They're fast food restaurants. What do you expect? I expect for them to actually make my fucking order correctly when I make the fucking order. And I'm not saying mistakes don't happen. I'm not saying that. But they're simple fucking orders.
And
why?
Don't forget the thing that happened with your pizza this week, too.
Oh my God.
God is just trying to tell you not to eat more fast food. Because this happened 3 times in a row at 3 different restaurants for you in these last few weeks.
Well, to add context to that, here's the context. I order Domino's. I'm sure people listening to this go, Garcia, you are a fat fuck. Maybe you should get on GLP-1.
You're a big back.
Maybe you should get on GLP-1 and Wegovy. Sarah's doing her due diligence. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I'm a fat fuck. Go kiss my ass. Anyway, I order me some Domino's. And I keep it simple. Domino's, a small pizza, well done, with cheese. I don't want anything else because I don't like toppings that much. And a Coke. That's it. It's on my receipt. It's on my app. I have evidence that this happened. And there you go. It's 120 fucking degrees outside.
Jesus.
Do I really want to be outside to wait for this fucking order? No! But I gotta do it anyway, because, as we've seen many times, whenever people drop in DoorDash or drop in whatever, they like to fuck with your meal, or they drop it off and then they take it back. We've seen a lot of videos that this happened before, which is why, in my opinion, DoorDash is going down. Anyway, moving on. I'm waiting outside to make sure that my shit is delivered correctly. I get the pizza, and that's it. And I'm like, sir? Where's my drink? He looks at the receipt. Oh my God, sir, I am so sorry. I'll go back right now. He's literally shaking. He's like, cause he's shaking. And I don't want to be a Karen that just spazzes out on him. No, I'm just looking at him with disappointment. Just, and cause it hurts me. It hurts me. It really does. He goes back inside the car and he drives off. And I'm taking my naked pizza. And I'm going back upstairs. And I put the pizza down. And I just yell, 2 fucking items! items! 2 fucking items! Why is that so hard? Why? Why? 2 fucking items! I don't understand! So
because this is the third time. This is the third time now.
So after 30 seconds of me bitching and ranting, and I had to get all that out, because here's the thing. For fast food delivery workers, I get it. I did it myself last year. I did it for a few months. So I can relate. I get it. Extra pressure. And it's to a lot of people, it is degrading. I'm not going to lie. It can be degrading. But you're there to do a job. You're there to earn extra money. And you're there as a side hustle or a side business. People gotta eat. People gotta work. I get it. I understand 100%, which is why I did not spaz out on the guy. And I didn't want to be a Karen, so I called the guy up. I called the restaurant up. And I asked him, I said, are you aware that you guys actually forgot my drink? Oh my God, Mr. Garcia, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm like, it's fine, sir. Relax. I just want to know, when is he coming back? It should be less than 5 minutes. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. Click. 2 items! 2 items! 2 fucking items! Why?
You know what this reminds me of? I have to say it because it reminds me of this. Remember, did you used to watch SpongeBob when we were younger? SpongeBob SquarePants?
Not really, but go ahead. I may have watched a clip.
There was one episode where the Krusty Krab made a Krusty Krab pizza. Normally they made burgers, but they had a guy order the Krusty Krab pizza that they delivered and they forgot his drink. And the guy's just sitting at the door, the fish, I guess, or whatever, and is like, where's my Diet Dr. Coke? Diet Dr. Kelp, where's my drink? That's what this reminds me of so much. I can't eat my pizza without my drink.
Well, I gotta see that clip now.
Yeah, just type in Krusty Krab pizza.
I gotta see that clip now. He came back 15 minutes later because of course there was traffic and there was like a little mini accident somewhere. I don't fucking know. And I got my drink and it was warm. Of course it was warm.
Oh God.
So I had to put it in the freezer for like 15, 20 minutes. And the pizza is already gone. I devoured that shit whole. Pause. I don't care. And I'm just sitting there and I had to wash it down with water.
Oh, the disappointment. I do like a crisp like Coke with my pizza. Or a Coke Zero in my... was usually what I drink. But I can't drink water with pizza.
God is testing me. And is telling me, this is the 3rd time this week.
This is the 3rd time. I think it's a sign.
It is a 3rd time. Well, twice this week. The McDonald's one was last week. But yeah, this is the 3rd time. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I think I'm going to be one of those guys that is only going to treat myself once a week, pick a day, Friday night or Saturday night, and just go to town. I don't care. Just whatever I want, whether it's a buffet, pizza, Chinese, whatever it is, and I gotta get it myself. And
make sure you check your McDonald's burgers before you walk out of the store.
Oh my God. I will hold up a drive-through line just to make sure that everything is checked. And if not, just knock on the window. Be like, sir, you forgot something. You know, or you made this incorrectly, please. And the funny thing is, like, when you tell them that you forgot something or it's incorrect, they want to check the receipt to make sure that they didn't make a mistake. And it's like, bro, do you...
Yeah?
Like, bro, I'm not destroying your property. I'm not, obviously I'm from the ghetto, but I'm not in a ghetto culture where I'm like hurling fucking condiments and shit.
A lot of customers do that. Like, because my best
It
friend worked in the
is.
fast food industry. Customers would throw drinks and food at them. Like, it happened more often than you would think.
It does. It does. And I don't want to, I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. But when they fuck up an order so easily, it makes me think where I'm like, I get it. To an extent. Just to an extent. Just to a little extent. I get it. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I kinda get it. But moving on, there was my week. You're going to enjoy your Papa John's later on, which are going into bankruptcy, Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They've already closed down over 300
That
stores.
makes me sad. I didn't know that until you told me before this podcast, too.
Yeah.
They have the nice little cheese dipping cups I like. You know me and my cheese.
Yeah, you love, you love your cheese. You really love your cheese. Yes, you do.
I do.
Oh my God. We just spent the first 25 minutes just talking about food. Yes, that's what we do because we're always hungry whenever we do this. And I think out of respect for Papa John's and make sure that my shit does not get tanked again, I'll probably order Papa John's as well. Hopefully there's a store still open near me. I got to check for that later on. But anyway, guys, once again, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share the podcast. We hope that you are enjoying our rants, our raves, and you find whatever we talk that's funny, amusing in any way. And if you want us to talk about anything else, give us suggestions. Go ahead and let us know in the comments because we are now on YouTube and on audio, wherever you get your podcast. Go ahead, hit that bell and that icon so that way whenever we release a new episode or a short, you get it right then and there. That is the best way. And by all means, like, comment, subscribe, because our engagement is your engagement and it helps us out tremendously. The Damaged Ones podcast is here and we're here for you. We're just two damaged people talking about damaged shit, like damaged fucking food.
But we got that out of our system.
I'm just like hungry right now, but I'm keeping calm. I am. I'm turning back a little bit. I'm just keeping calm. I'm calm.
Are you sure about that?
I'm calm.
You sound like you're trying to really convince yourself right now.
I am calm. Moving on to the true meat and potatoes of this podcast, we have got ourselves a controversial shit that we're going to talk about today, the Odyssey. Oh my God, the Odyssey. The movie directed by Christopher Nolan starring Matt Damon, Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland, Zendaya. Tom Holland and Zendaya are in everywhere now. Holy shit.
I feel like they're always in stuff together, always.
Well, they're married now. They're married.
I know, but there's lots of Hollywood actors and actresses that are married that aren't in all movies together.
Starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, and so many. And of course, one's controversial figure that people still hate to this day, Elliot Page. Formerly Ellen Page. By the way, I'm going to call Elliot Ellen Page. I'm going to say the both names. Because I remember watching Ellen Page like in Juno and Inception. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, wow, you're a very attractive young girl. Like she looked young and she looked youthful and she looked awesome. And I'm like, holy shit, like she's cool and whatnot. Then she transitioned. I'm like, fuck! God damn it. Although I did see him shadow boxing and whatever. I'm like, oh, would it be a crime if I wanted to fight Elliot Page? No, I can't do that. I can't. Because that's wrong in so many ways. And, you know, that's neither here nor there.
What if he wanted to?
We would have to get Dana White. Let's contact Jake Paul. Let's contact Jake Paul and put this fight together. Me against Elliot Page. What's up? And then people are going to be like, no, Garcia, no, you can't hit a woman. She's not a woman anymore. She's a man now. She's a man.
And everyone's going to be like, it's Elliot.
Be like, no, it's Elliot. No, it's Elliot. No, it's Ellen. No, it's a female. No, it's a male. Ah! And this is the main basis of what we're going to talk about today, okay? The fact that the Odyssey, that is already on track, it's already on track to surpass $1 billion at the global box office. What does that tell you? That maybe it was a good movie? That maybe Christopher Nolan actually knows a thing or two about storytelling? That he's still proven to this day to be one of the top 10 directors ever in the history of Hollywood? I mean, look at the Dark Knight trilogy, look at Inception, look at Tenet, look at all the shit that he has made. And then the one movie where, I will admit, because I've seen the movie myself. I know you didn't see it, and no spoilers, obviously. You know, no spoilers. But if you know the Odyssey, just to give you a little synopsis, it follows Odysseus' journey to come back home after his 10-year war of the Battle of Troy. Simple synopsis. And the movie follows that journey. And the moment that this movie came out, people, you know, a lot of the extremists out there on the right side was hating this movie. They were hating it. Oh my god, the diverse casting and the fact that it's not historically accurate and the fact that, like you just said, it has all the main actors that we see time and time again. It doesn't have all the Greek actors and blah blah blah. Look, goddamn, we're gonna go into a controversial topic, but first disclaimer, real quick. Sarah and myself are not transphobic. We could give two shits what trans people do in their lives. We don't give a, as long as they are a good person to us, and they're good people, and they're cool to hang out with, my power, bro. My power to you. You do whatever the fuck you want. And this is why we don't belong to a political side. Because at the end of the day, it's like you, Sarah, it's like you said earlier, who gives a shit? Who cares? Who fucking cares? Now, I will say there are certain things that I believe a lot of transgender males should not be involved with. Transgender males should not be in male sports. Okay?
Or female sports.
Or female sports, in the way how you look at it. I take my stance on that. You know? The whole thing with the, I forgot, this was in 2022 with the whole, the transgender swimmer. I forgot.
Yeah, Leah Thomas, I think was
Leah
his
Thomas,
name?
Leah Thompson, Leah Thomas, something.
Thomas.
Yes.
And the thing with Leah Thomas, because everyone's like, oh, but, you know, he is on estrogen now, or she is on estrogen. It doesn't give her a competitive advantage. Biologically,
which is true.
But biologically, men's bodies are more, they have more muscle mass than women. They're going to have a bigger lung capacity. They're going to have larger hand and foot size. Like, when he was on the male swim team, he ranked, I think it was 300 something. When he transitioned to the female swim team, he ranked number 1. To jump from rank 300 something to 1, that's not a coincidence. That's an unfair advantage.
And it took another female just to go neck and neck with Leah, just to even win the damn thing. And because people had to go through the certain quo and the status quo and award Leah the medals and the win and everything, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And honestly, if I was born a female, I'd be pretty pissed too. I would be pretty pissed. Where it's like, no, this guy is in our sport, all of a sudden decides to transition way later in his lives, and we're supposed to be okay with it. Like, that's fucking bullshit. So I understand that perspective. But we're talking about a movie with Elliot Page. We're talking about a person being a character, which, let me remind you, had rarely any impact in the movie whatsoever. Rarely any impact. And the moment that we have been seeing time and time again that these issues keep on being brought up, and of course a lot of the complaints. Oh my God, the diverse casting, the the inaccurate storytelling and the fact that this doesn't feel like ancient Greece and what is Christopher Nolan doing, I'm going to say this, okay? I'm going to say this. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It's getting hot in here and all that other bullshit. Look,
You're getting riled up.
yeah, I am getting riled up on this one, okay? Who fucking cares? I understand from a Greek purist perspective. Maybe they're a historian. Maybe it is their lives to study Homer's work from X amount of years ago. What was that, 2,000 years ago? Maybe just around that point? Maybe way longer? I don't remember my history. Like, it's from a long time ago. Maybe there are people that are such purists that they want to have accuracy when it comes to a story that they grew up with. And honestly, I can relate to that because when people fuck up something when it comes to Marvel or DC or any other superhero movie within the genre, I get it. I do. If there's something that a character does that is not supposed to be in the movie, but it's from the comics and they don't pay homage to the comics, I do feel a certain way. I do. You know, look at Supergirl that just came out. Supergirl is now tanking so badly.
I was going to say that's doing pretty bad.
Yeah. 1 month after release, it's already on digital. 1 month after release, it's already on digital. It only made just over $100 million worldwide. That's bad. That's fucking atrocious. I'm sure they've made over $300 to $500 million to not only make the movie, but budget the movie. And there were a lot of things that Supergirl has done in the movie that wasn't supposed to be, that was never in the comics. And it rubbed a lot of people off the wrong way. So I understand people's complaint and frustration on it not being accurate to the story and the lore and everything. Here's my pushback on this as well, okay? When I have my complaints on Marvel movies and DC and them not doing what they're supposed to do, I get over it right away. I move on. Okay? People are still bitching and complaining about this. Granted, it's just recent. Also, it's Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan took a Batman, a comic book character, and made it as realistic and grounded as possible. The Joker, Heath Ledger, rest his soul, won an Oscar for his role in The Dark Knight, which is still to this day, arguably, the best comic book movie ever, directed by Christopher Nolan. And now it's on track to doing $1 billion at the global box office. What does that tell you? It tells you that a lot of people are not focusing on the woke stuff. They're not focusing on the controversial shit. They're going in the movie to see an awesome movie. And I see it. I'm anti-woke myself. But the difference between that and anything else that we've seen is when we watch a movie or a show or whichever, and we know full well that they're just using the woke agenda for check marks. For check marks. That's when you know they're forcing it down our throats. And they're not paying attention to the story. They're not paying attention to the characters. They're not paying attention to what goes on. To make you feel something after the movie is done where you're like, wow, that was an epic movie. You're following this character that has been away from his family, that has been away from his kingdom, and he's trying to get home. But no, you want to focus on, oh, well, Elliot Page is not supposed to be a Greek man because she is a female. She's not supposed to be there. And then you just see Elliot Page run, which I will admit, it looked ridiculous. But you just see Elliot Page run in whatever, in heavy armor. That's not supposed to, but who gives a shit? Who fucking cares? Did you believe in the character? Did you believe in the story? Were you invested in the journey? Were you invested in the journey of this one guy, played by Matt Damon, the main guy, to carry on and go home? If the answer is yes, who fucking cares about Elliot Page being cast as this person?
Well, I have to play a little bit of devil's advocate just because I know you like to. I 95% agree with you, 100%, automatically. That being said, I do understand when it comes to, not in this case, because the Odyssey is not based on a real historic event. The Odyssey is based on ancient Greek mythology. Storytelling.
Correct. It's fictional, yes.
So it's fiction. I will say when it comes to actual historical retellings, like the story of Anne Boleyn, things like that, like Schindler's List, when it talks about Hitler in World War II, I do like the characters to resemble what the person looked like in real life, just because it's a historical retelling. So I want it to be as historically accurate as possible. But that's only in the cases where it's a true story. I agree with you 100% with the Odyssey, especially with it being Greek mythology and fiction and fantasy. It shouldn't be a big deal. It was like when everyone made a big deal with The Little Mermaid when they cast a black actress, Haley, I believe. And everyone was up in arms. They were like, Little Mermaid isn't black. I'm like, Little Mermaid is a fucking mermaid. It's a fictional character. It's a fictional story. It's like you said, who fucking cares? But when they cast a black actress as Anne Boleyn in the retelling of her story, that did bother me because Anne Boleyn historically was not African American. She was white. So, to me, it's a little bit of a distinction there. But people giving Elliot Page a hard time for playing in a Greek mythology movie, I agree with you. You're doing too much.
You really are. Now, not to say that I don't like Elliot Page, because there's a lot of things that he's saying right now that is just batshit fucking crazy. And we're going to transition to that when you talk about your thing. I mean, there are a lot of interviews just recently where Elliot Page comes out and says there are trans animals. And that's where I sit there and I'm just thinking about it and I'm like, okay, I get it. You're part of this transition now. You have transition. This is the new you. This is the new identity and you're living this lifestyle. Okay, you do you, boo-boo, whatever. But to say that there are trans animals, that's where I draw the line. I'm like, just stop. Because now you're overreaching. Now you're doing way too fucking much to include every single thing that goes on in the world to fit your ideology. That's too much. That's where I draw the line. But once again, let me come back to the movie, okay? If in general the people have any problems about transgenders or transsexuals that are playing male roles or whichever within certain movies or certain shows or whichever, if the story makes sense and I believe that character, I don't fucking care. And I'm being completely honest. Case in point, Squid Game. Did you watch all 3 Squid Game seasons?
No, I have not. But okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, Squid Game Season 2. One of the best characters ever was a transgender character. You can make the argument that this character was top 3 characters ever that made the show worth watching. She had heart. She had depth. She had a backstory. And when I'm not gonna spoil it, but when something happened that involved with her character, I fucking cried. I'm like, no, why are you doing this? No! That is the power of storytelling. That it makes you feel at the end of the fucking day. And with Elliot Page, barely made a dent in the actual movie. Barely, and when I say dent, I mean barely had an impact in the actual movie. And the people that want to come out and say, oh, well, it's absurd that Lupita Nyong'o is playing Helen of Troy, and we got an Indian or Arabic second in command, and we got an Asian guy that is, and I'm like, guys, I'm about to be like Dana White from the UFC, where I remember a reporter asked him about certain shit, and he's like, "Shut the fuck up and watch the fights." And I'm sitting here
People
now.
doing too much. It's fantasy. It's a movie. It's not based on real historic events. Like, get the fuck over yourself.
There is a distinction when someone is hiring actors to play certain parts to fill an agenda. I'm not naive. I'm not discrediting that. We know that. We see that through past pandemic. We've seen this time and time again. And it does take you out of the movie because you know they're filling an agenda. You know that they have to do this in order to fill in that quota, to fill in that check mark. We're not discrediting that. We know it happens. And you know what? Maybe Christopher Nolan did intentionally do this. Maybe by the pressures of Hollywood, because that's where Hollywood is right now, maybe he had to do it to appease the masters, appease the executives, appease the shareholders, appease whoever it is that's filling in the bill. And they told it, and I don't have any proof of this, but I'm just guessing. Okay, so this is just simply my opinion. Maybe they're doing this because they want their agenda to be met. And in order for him to tell a good story, he had no choice but to do this. It's completely understandable. But Christopher Nolan knows at the end of the day that it's extremely important to not only appease them, sort of, but to tell a story. To write and direct an epic adventure of Greek mythology. Now, after I saw the movie, I gave it a 9 out of 10. After rethinking about it now, I'm going to bump it down to an 8. And the reason why is because I wanted more of the Greek mythology creatures to be represented more. I wanted more of that.
That makes sense, especially since it's based on Greek mythology.
Yes. The creatures that we did see, I did not get enough of. But that's me. That's not a critique. That's a nitpicky thing from me. Okay, and from this 3-hour movie, from start to finish, I enjoyed it. I really did, and I think that's where the true essence lies. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who's cast. And I know to a lot of people, it may sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. Like, well, if you're saying that it doesn't matter, then why are you saying that the quota and the agenda and you just said that you don't like check marks? Again, there's a distinction between someone who's cast for the story and someone who's cast to fill that agenda. There is a huge distinction. And if you, the extreme right people, still don't get that, that's a you problem. That's a fucking you problem. I didn't give a shit about Elliot Page being in the movie. I didn't give a fuck about Lupita being Helen of Troy. I didn't give a shit about the Asian dude. I didn't give a shit about the Indian, whichever. I don't give a fuck. I was entertained at the end of the day. And that's what it really matters. That's where it truly matters. Were you entertained? If yes, awesome. If not, that's fine. You didn't like the movie, it was too long, it was too boring, the aesthetics took you out of it. To each their own. It's how you feel at the end of the day, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's how I see it, really.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, that's how I see it in a particular way. Oh my goodness. I've been ranting on and on about this shit, but are you planning on seeing the movie anytime soon?
I probably will wait till it comes out and see it. I don't go to the movie theaters unless it's something I absolutely would really love to see, just because it's so expensive anymore.
How much does it cost to get a ticket on your side?
It depends. Usually if you get a ticket in the afternoon, it's like $1 or $2 cheaper, but on average it's about $12 a ticket.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but if you're like me, you want to go and get like a popcorn and you want to get like the blue raspberry slushy and that's like $8 a piece. So, and if you don't, you can go and not get that, but then it's like, why not just watch the movie for free at home at that point if I'm not going for the popcorn and the snackies?
Gotcha. Well, we are now reaching 50 minutes. Sarah, what is it that you want to talk about for this perfect transition of this show?
Yes. So, we're the Damaged Ones podcast and we talk about damaged people. That is very apparent. That is why we were here. And I think this story really reiterates the mental health crisis we're having in this country as a whole. So I'm going to read off the names because I want to make sure I'm not getting it right. But if you're on TikTok or social media right now, this is trending. But basically, there was an incident where cops were called to the University of Central Florida for an incident. There was an individual there identified as Jarrett Vick, but was transgender and who goes by Jaylee. And Jaylee, for the record, was not involved in this incident. The cops were called for a completely separate incident when Jaylee was getting herself involved with this encounter. And things very quickly escalated between Jaylee and the police after the student repeatedly objected to being misgendered and call he instead of she. And this individual got so irate that they were starting to resist arrest. They were screaming, they were stomping their feet, they were trying to escape down the elevator, and eventually had to be pepper sprayed and tased during the resisted arrest. And then was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer for resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can literally type in Central University of Florida student outburst. Like literally it will come up. And I want to reiterate, to me, it's not important that this individual is transgender. It really isn't. I think it reiterates, if you just watch that video, you can see how mentally unstable they are. And I feel like I'm hearing more and more of these stories. Like, I've also been hearing stories about very entitled people resisting arrests, or even just resisting, like when they get pulled over for a basic like speeding ticket or citation. And they try to argue with law enforcement officers about how they're a sovereign citizen, so they don't have to show them their driver's license. It's like, no, ma'am, no, sir. If you drive a vehicle in any of these 50 states, you have to, by law, provide vehicle registration. And I just don't know where we're moving to as a society, where more and more of these mentally ill and entitled people just think they know more than the law, and that they make the situation worse for themselves, when if they would just listen and cooperate, it wouldn't turn into arrest. It would literally just be a citation or a fine or whatever. So it's pretty wild. It's definitely a very wild video.
Let's make something clear for a lot of people that haven't experienced this already, or have experienced this already, but are still not getting it. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you are right. Everyone is supposed to follow the law. The law is there for it to be followed for a fucking reason. When I see not a lot, but a few transgenders or transsexuals or whoever it is that you identify, non-binary, whatever, and they lose their fucking minds over the wrong pronouns, that's where I'm out. I'm like, dude, or chick, ma'am, whatever. Like, that's too much. It's almost similar to calling a black dude the N-word. Almost similar. Almost. And the reason why I say almost is because we have been raised by society to not do that. We are not part of their culture. We are not wearing obviously we're not their skin color. And unless we have someone in their circle that gives us permission to do that within your own inner circle, there are exceptions. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people that I've met with my black dudes and my black friends, and they're like, yo, what up, bot? And they looked at him, and they want to give him the death eye, but they're like, "Hey, what up, my guy?" Because they're friends, obviously. So it's common sense. Well, if you're within your own clique or your own group of friends, that's fine. But if someone from the outer circle was to call them that, they grow enraged. And that's exactly how it is whenever you say the wrong pronoun. To them, it's a sign of disrespect. I get that, okay? But you have to understand that's no reason for you to flip the fuck out and then instantly grow violent.
Correct.
That's no excuse.
Right,
it's no
because
excuse.
now you've made it worse. Now you turned what could have been a simple confrontation into an arrest with battery on an officer, which I'm pretty sure is a felony charge. There is no reason to be losing your mind over something. And here's the thing. I, in the past, have gotten misgendered before, especially before I hit puberty and I had a really short haircut because my mom forced me to cut my hair because I didn't want to comb it. So I kind of looked like a boy for a little while, you know, that awkward preteen phase. I had people call me a guy or a dude.
Yes.
Would that upset me? Yeah, but I wouldn't go off the fucking chain either. You know what I mean? Like you just
you're not the transgender.
Right.
Like grow up.
Like I am not a man, please call me a female, versus stomping my feet and screaming, "Call me a she! Call me a she!"
like here,
I mean? Like that's different.
You want to know how this is all solved? If you misgender someone, right? The proper response is, "Excuse me, sir, I am she they, or I am they them. Please, if I can, please." It would make me feel better if you just call me they, them. If you refer to me as they, them. That is the pronouns that I go on for myself. If someone were to say that to me, I'd be like, my apologies. I apologize. I will refer to you by... Because you know what that is? That's mutual respect. It really is. Mm-hmm. To other people, it is a sign of delusions. I'm not discrediting that. But this is the way we are in the world. We have to respect each other based on whatever it is he or she has transitioned into. Okay? If you choose not to take part of it, that is your issue. That is something that you need to deal with as well. You could walk away. You could say, "No, I grew up from a different time. I'm going to refer to you by the actual pronoun that you are born with." They are well within their rights to do that as well. Is it right? Is it wrong? That's for society to decide. But I'm saying us in terms of if someone comes to us and just politely say, please refer to me as they, them, or she, they, or he, they, he, she, whatever. I'd be like, okay, thank you for telling me. I will respect you in return by doing the same thing. That's it. Literally less than 30 seconds. You gave me respect and letting me know that you were uncomfortable about something, and I will respect you to let you know that I acknowledge it. Even though there's a part of me that does not agree with it, I will acknowledge it. But then once you stomp your feet and you grow all fucking haywire and you become all violent to the point that you want to maim, shoot, kill, whichever, I'm out. I'm so out. I want nothing to do with you. Because now you're acting like an animal. Fuck you.
Right. And again, we're just reiterating, this is not directed just towards trans individuals. I'm talking about everyone. That there's so many entitled people right now that are acting this way with law enforcement. The entitlement is fucking crazy. The delusion of crazy. How do you think you know the law better than our law enforcement? And I'm not saying that there aren't some bad apples or bad seeds that try to take advantage of the law for their advantage. I'm not saying there's not, but not all of them are like that. And I can tell you that anytime I've gotten pulled over and I am respectful, I don't walk away in handcuffs. I don't walk away with arrest. I might walk away with the ticket. In fact, I just got a speeding ticket a month ago.
Hey, whoa, wait, whoa, wait, hold on, wait, we don't need to tell people, you're in trouble with the law now.
Oh, come on! It
beep,
was a
beep,
speeding citation.
beep, beep.
But what I say this because it was literally a 5-minute interaction. It was
Okay.
provide me your license and registration, which you are, you have to do by law. So stop arguing about how you want to get your lawyer on the phone or you have them on speed dial and you're not going to provide that. You can't legally do that. I give him the information. He said, you were speeding. I'm going to write you a citation. I said, thank you, officer. Done. Not arguing. If you don't agree with it, you can go and argue about it in court. Don't argue about it with the officer. Don't say they're wrong. Don't refuse to give them documentation. That's the shit that is going to get you fucking arrested, just like in this situation. So, just know when to draw the line.
And to others that become so offended over the misgendering of the pronouns, I will say this, even though what I just said, that if you come and you respect us and we will respect you, that mutual energy, I will say this. I'm going to get in trouble for this so badly, but I got to come out and say it. If someone misgenders you, get over it.
Oh, you're going to have hate mail? You're going to death threats coming?
No, but seriously, it's the same thing with the movie, okay? It's gotta go both ways. It has to go both ways. There are going to be people that will not follow where society is today. There are going to be people that will not follow the way the new world is right now. You can't change someone's old ways no matter how much you want to educate them, okay? If I am in a classroom, I remember there was a skit of a teacher that did this. I don't know if it was real or not. I don't know if it was a real situation, but I was in a classroom. And this teacher, this transgender non-binary teacher, I don't know how that's possible. This non-binary teacher was like, you got to refer to me as Zim or Z-Zer.
I think I remember that.
Jem or the Quasimodo. I don't fucking know. It was
something odd.
It was so odd to be like, no, I'm not going to engage with this, nor do I have to. And a lot of people are like that. And this is what I say. Sarah, you and I have spoken about this over and over and over. In the world of sensitivity, and everyone is sensitive now, everyone is entitled, everyone gets their feelings hurt. And if you get your feelings hurt, that means that you should have a say in terms of how things are right now. No, bitch! The world doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. Dave Chappelle said it best in one of his specials. Since when has the world gave a fuck about our feelings? It doesn't. It fucking doesn't. Who's that song? Was it Katy Perry or someone that sung, I really don't care? That song from the 90s and early 2000s and shit.
Oh, damn,
I don't care.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Grow a backbone. That's all I'm saying. Grow a fucking backbone. If you have transitioned and you're living this life as the new you, whether from male to female or female to male, congratulations, okay? You are now in your new body, your new life. You are living the best life you can, okay? But if you're going to become this blue-haired fuck that just lost their fucking minds from the cops over ranting like a fucking animal, get over it!
It's like what we were talking about yesterday. No response is a response. And I know everyone hates that. But if you're ranting and raving, that only quote unquote proves people right when they make assumptions or bias. If you stand tall and don't react, you don't give them anything to go off of. Like, you earn respect. But if you're going to act out, acting out isn't going to make people change your mind. It's like you said, whatever people believe, they believe, whether it's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it might not be bigoted, but that's just how it is. And you ranting and raving and screaming and yelling about it will not change their mind. It's only going to make you look more crazy.
Yes.
And in their mind, they think that you're proving them right. So the best thing you can do dealing with people like that is just ignore them. Don't give them a reaction, because that's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Keep your head high. Stand tall. Don't let words or phrases affect you. They're just words or phrases. You go about your way. Give them your license, your registration, or whatever, your passport, whatever. You move on. And you move on. You go about your life. Don't react and then demand for a problem to be occurred. Because it's usually not going to work out in your favor. Especially since we have cameras everywhere. Especially when everything is recorded. And everything is on the internet now. And if you're looking for sympathy, like Sarah talked about a few weeks ago, for the sweet treats and the cakes and whatnot.
Oh, yes.
No one's going to give a fuck. And a lot of people are not going to be on your side. Do what you do. Be respectful. Be a good human being. And go about your way. Simple. It's simple.
And that's really all I have to say on the matter. But we're having a mental health crisis. We don't have enough mental health services. Like I said, I'm seeing more and more people act like this, and it's a shame, because maybe if they were getting proper help, there wouldn't be as many people acting out like this and getting themselves arrested or creating a big problem that doesn't need to be there.
Correct. And I know there's going to be one person that's going to be like, well, Garcia, you have to speak up because there are corrupted cops, and the cops are just doing whatever the hell they want because they have they're entitled to the law. They have the law on their side. They get to do whatever they want. Not really. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying that there are
We're not saying that. We know there's always exceptions. Like I said, there's always bad seeds. Yes. There are always exceptions to this rule. There are always corrupted cops. There are always corrupted people. There are always whichever. What we're saying is there's no need to take a simple matter and then blow it up to something that it could have been avoided. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's no need. Now, if there was racial injustice, if there was injustice based on your ethnicity, your sexual orientation, your pronouns, your whatever, it's recorded anyway. And chances are, if it's happening to you, there's bound to be witnesses going around that is going to plaster that all over the news. Everything is recorded. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to escalate a bad situation even further.
Correct.
But what do you think, listeners and viewers? What do you think? Do you agree with us in some way? Are there exceptions? Am I way off? Is she way off? Let us know in the comments right here on YouTube, called the Damaged Ones Podcast. I am fucking melting like a motherfucker, so I gotta get out of here. And of course, we want our Papa John's. We're not sponsored by Papa John's, but Papa John's, if you do want to sponsor, just saying.
Well, if they're going bankrupt, I doubt that will be happening.
No, we need Papa John. Little Caesars needs to go. Little Caesars.
Oh, fuck Little Caesars. Listen, I get it's cheap pizza, but it tastes cheap. And listen, yes, there's going to be people that are like, oh, but Papa John's is just a chain restaurant like Domino's and Pizza Hut. I get it. Like, it's nice when you can go to New York to get a nice New York style pizza. But sometimes I just am wanting a nice unhealthy treat from a fast food chain. And out of all the pizza chains, Papa John's happens to be my favorite. So, of course, that's the one going bankrupt. Fuck.
I know. It's sad. That is all we have for today on this episode of the Damaged Ones podcast. Once again, hit that like, subscribe to the show, and if there's anything, any questions, comments, or concerns, anything you want to hear from us, or if you want to engage with us in any way, be respectful, and we will be respectful to you. Thanks so much once again. Hit that like, subscribe, share, and download the podcast. We keep on downloading. It's what we do. We're over 1,000 strong. Let's get to 5,000. Let's get to 10,000. And if there's anything you want from us, any challenges that you want us to do, no spicy food. She doesn't like spices. I will do the spice.
And nothing with spiders, some arachnophobia. No, I won't do any challenges with that.
No spices and no spiders. I will do that myself. I will... Maybe, do you think I could eat a tarantula here on the video?
I would not. I could not be on camera to see that. And we're not going to do any dumb challenges that put our lives in danger, like the Tide Pod challenge that the Gen Zers were doing recently. Anything like that where I'm eating chemicals, no, I'm not doing that shit. So don't even ask.
This is one of those moments where I gotta say, Darwinism.
We need to stop
Fuck it,
taking
Darwinism.
We need to start taking the label off things and letting Darwinism just run its course.
We're kidding. We're kidding. Or are we? Thank you so much once again. Tune in next week. Next week, we're going to record an episode earlier because next weekend, I am going back to New York City for the week. Oh man, what a trip that's going to be. Sarah, anything else you want to say before we end things off?
Nope. I think we said all that needs to be said.
We said all that needs to be said. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. Do your best. Live life. Eat some pizza. And we will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.